Hello and welcome back to Melbourne Airport and of course, Airport CEO. If you're a new viewer to this series, this is a great place to jump in because today we are ripping it all down. Everything has to go. And the first step to get that done is to close our airport and let the simulation run for just a little bit as all of our planes leave our stands, all of our passengers leave our airport. And we are also, I think, going to have to fire basically all of our staff so that they don't get in the way of the new build, which is a little bit unfortunate, but sort of just is what it is. We can probably start off by closing this de-icing pad and getting rid of it because we really don't need it at all. And we can do the exact same thing with the de-icing fluid depot. Get them working on a little bit of stuff before we get into the major demolitions. Basically, anything that can be demolished without closing the airport down should be demolished now, while our contractors don't have anything else to do. So we'll get all of this out of the way. They can start on that, and that should be good. You can see most of our stands are now empty. We're going to fast forward time as fast as we can, basically until this number down here with passengers is at 0. Once that hits 0, we can go ahead and start actually demolishing all of our stuff. And I have big plans for this airport. I've done a little bit of a test to make sure that, demolishing the airport actually works, and it does. And we should end up with about 10 million once everything has been deconstructed. We'll go ahead and unlock the rest of the tiles and start working on a brand new redesigned Melbourne Airport. So I'm going to do a little bit of time lapse as everyone heads out of the airport and leaves to make way for our demolitions, and we'll be right back. Okay, so not everyone has left yet. They're still making their way out, but while they are sort of doing that, we can start demolishing our runways and our external structures, and I think that is going to work out well. The other thing that we can do is go ahead and sell all of the vehicles that we have, just while we have roads still in place so they can actually get out of our airport, and that should be fine. We'll sell everything we own and we'll rebuy everything in a little bit more of a strategic way when we come back in. So we should see all of those guys starting to leave, but like I said, we can start demolishing our runways and our stands and things like that, and that should be fine. I won't do the stands here just yet as we have a fair backlog of all of those cars ready to leave, but we'll go through and start demolishing everything that we can in turn. Alright, with all of our passengers now out of the airport, we are going to go through and unfortunately fire all of our staff. I really kind of wish that I didn't have to do this, but they will just sort of hang around and do absolutely nothing and get paid for it. So we are going to go through and fire absolutely everybody. A little bit unfortunate, but we'll have to rehire these guys anyway. So, it is what it is. If you can get away with not doing this, it's probably a little bit easier, because you can't really hire bulk people, but it sort of is what it is. We'll get back up to a running staff reasonably quickly. It doesn't take too long to go through and do that, so it sort of is what it is, but we do have a ton of staff. I think they were costing us about $8,000 a day just to have them standing around basically doing nothing. So with all of those guys fired, they should all slowly leave the airport, and then we can get on to actually demolishing the terminal itself. But you can see we already are up to 8.5 million just from demolishing all of that stuff, so kind of a cool way to get some money in terms of doing a redesign. Of course, in an ideal situation, we would have done this redesign in a way where we left the airport operational while we did it, but Melbourne has a little bit of a benefit because it has Tullamarine, a second airport in the same city. So in terms of roleplay for this, I'm sort of imagining that we basically just diverted all of our passengers to Tullamarine while this renovation is taking place. So if you need a little bit more realism in your Let's Play, that's how we're going to explain that one away. But we'll jump back into the time lapse. Our staff are now leaving. Hopefully, they should all be heading out. Of course, this is all our contractors. They will be staying around. We have a bunch of cars leaving from underground, I suppose. This should also all get demolished without any dramas as well. We should also probably, make sure we actually demolish the things in here. I'm going to leave the elevators for now just in case they actually need access to these areas. I don't think they do, but we're going to leave it anyway. And we can probably start getting rid of some of the underground foundations as well. We'll leave them a little bit of a sort of path. And also probably like remove all of the secure zones because they are no longer necessary. We don't have anything that is actually secure. Jump back up here, and I think I'll do the exact same thing up here. We'll just say none of this is secure zone anymore. Don't worry about it. And then they can get wherever they need to go without having to worry about going through security, which we can remove now. And that should be absolutely fine. People should be able to go wherever they please. It's still saying we have 44 staff. Oh, it's saying we need 44 staff. It looks like all of the staff have actually gone home, which is nice to see. I do see cars though. Empty person car. I don't know who that would belong to, but I guess that is what it is. I believe at this point we can now start demolishing our actual terminals. So I'm going to do this in 2 stages. We're going to do the bulk interior without removing the walls. And actually, we can remove the walls as well. We might actually get a little bit of money from that. So I'll remove all of the walls and then we'll come through once this is empty with our foundation demolishing tool and demolish all of the foundations as well. So that's how we're going to play that out. I believe to about, well, we can do the whole thing. Why not? To there, come down, grab all of that, all of this. And I'm hoping in this process we can make our airport look a whole bunch cooler. I have some cool ideas. I want to do like satellite terminals, and I think that's going to be really fun to play around with. And once all of that is demolished, we can go ahead and get rid of the rest of the stuff in here, which is just going to be these paths, which I believe they can do from upstairs. We should also... the recent times flourishing economy has come to an end and markets around the world are plummeting. We really don't care right now because we are closed. Leave this simulation running. We can probably go ahead and demolish these upstairs foundations at this point. Get that done. Oh, that's a couple. And then as soon as down here is all cleared out, we'll go ahead and demolish that as well. So we'll jump back into another quick little time lapse as they get all of this demolished, and we'll be back. The other thing that I did forget is we still currently have a whole bunch of accepted contracts. And I don't know if it's worth keeping these or just getting rid of them and starting again. I think I want to get rid of them and start again because I feel like we're going to lose a whole bunch of reputation with these airlines. I don't know if that's 100% true or not. I currently have no active flights planned, but I don't know if having these contracts will negatively affect that. So I am going to go through and get rid of all of them except for this one, because this one is our contractors and we definitely want that on board. I'm also thinking we might keep the fuel and go just because we did already negotiate quite a substantial discount there. But basically everything else can go, I believe. Of course, our stores can go because they're definitely not going to be happy anyway. So yeah, we'll just go through here and cancel all of these. I'm hoping enter works. Yes, it does. So if you need to cancel a bunch of contracts, press the little X and then enter, and it goes away almost immediately. So yeah, we'll just leave our 2 contracts, one with our contractors, which we've negotiated down to $2.50. I did check in my little test that we did. This is the best contract we can possibly get at the moment. Most amount of contractors and at the cheapest price, even better than some of the 5-star ones. And fuel and go, we're currently getting avgas for 45 cents a litre and Jet A1 for 13 cents a litre. So we want to keep that around for when we get our airport back to operational. Looks like we maybe still have 1 staff member in our airport right now. Probably delete that as well. I don't know why it wasn't marked for demolition. A couple of things. If you highlight something and then highlight it again, it cancels the demolition. So we might have a couple of things left over here, but we're not too concerned about that because we can just demolish them all with the terminal tool anyway. And you know what? That's probably good enough. The walls really don't matter too much. I don't think we're going to get much money back for them anyway. They're currently working on the fence right now. I don't see... Oh, we are working on the walls slowly. Slowly getting there. Maybe I will let it run for a little bit longer. I just want to see someone demolish a wall. Oh, that's me. I'm just hanging out. That's the one staff member we have left is me. I'm just hanging out doing stuff. I don't have a toilet or energy, but you know what it is? It's fine. It's fine. We won't worry about it. I can't fire myself. I'm just overseeing these operations. I want to see them demolish a wall and see if we get any money for it. I know we do for the fences. I'm not actually sure. Do walls cost anything? Oh yeah, they cost $10 each. So this isn't a completely unsubstantial amount of money if we actually demolish all of these walls. If we can see it ever happening. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. It looks like, yeah, we do get $10 per wall. So I will let them go ahead and do that. I'm not 100% sure if using the foundation demolition tool actually refunds you the things that are on them, but I guess we'll see. Well, we probably won't because we're doing this all manually, but you know what I mean. It's fine. We can probably also start demolishing outside. Don't believe we need any of this anymore. The only person that's here is me, and I won't care about that. So that's fine. We can go ahead and get rid of all of that. And I'll do that in a quick little time lapse and be back. And we might be able to see here, we definitely get money back for the foundations themselves, but I'm not 100% sure if we get them back for the walls or not. I think we might have. So that might have been an easier way to do that. Just use the foundation demolition tool instead. But it sort of is what it is. At this point, we can go ahead and say, we don't need any of this anymore. So just demolish absolutely everything that you can. A little bit of lag as that is a large area for demolition. And then of course we missed a section of sidewalk, and that should be just about everything. I assume they're finished with the fence at this point, but you never know. They can be a little bit slow with their demolitions. I think that will be good. At this stage, we can probably go ahead and buy the rest of these tiles because I want to move the contractor's stand just off to the side while we figure this out. I'm just going to put it in this little corner here, and then we will start to work on the design of our actual airport. Let this run for just a little bit longer and we'll be back in a second. So we are almost done. It seems that they demolish a thing and then get stuck a little bit and then decide, oh yeah, I should actually continue demolishing things. So I'm not 100% sure what that's about. I guess it just is what it is. They are slowly getting this done. It seems if I zoom in on them and actually watch them, it goes a little bit quicker. I don't know what that's about. But we're going to call that pretty good. And we can go ahead and jump over to the corner here and put in a brand new set of delivery sites as well as contractor sites, just so that they can live over here for the moment while we get everything sorted. So of course, we're going to need a world entrance tunnel for this. And that can be placed right there. And then just a simple public road to connect those up. That should be absolutely fine. As soon as that is built, we can go ahead and demolish these ones. And then we have a brand new clean slate to get started building out our brand new airport. Hopefully they actually come over and do this at some point. We might actually be able to demolish this now that we've put that in. And they should come over here and actually get this built. I hope. Any minute now. Ah, there they go. Perfect. So that's it. We have a clean slate. I believe we don't have any staff lingering around. We have $8.5 million to work with. A little bit less than I was hoping, but it sort of is what it is. If we have a look at our economy, we still have $12,000 in operating costs, and I'm not 100% sure what that's for. That seems really high. Of course, contractors we have to pay, but I don't know what our operating costs are for. We have literally nothing here, unless that's literally just the cost of owning all of this land. If anyone knows the answer to that question, please do let me know, because we have nothing on. I'm going to turn off basically everything here and see if that changes things. But we really shouldn't have $12,000 in operating costs. That seems a little bit excessive to me, and I'm not 100% sure why. If we go into the economy report, does it tell us what that is? Operational costs from structures and items is $354,000. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure what that is for. We aren't offering anything to, and like this is all that we own. I don't think I missed anything. I believe our airport is now officially empty. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure what those operating costs are all about. If anyone knows, please do let me know. But without further ado, let's get into a little bit of a build time lapse. And I kind of have an idea of how I want this to look in my head, but we're going to lay out a couple of like little planning pieces and go from there. So we grab ourselves a foundation and we go to the ground floor. We can basically come from this side all the way over to this side and just figure out how wide this is. And we are currently at 261, so half of that would be about 130, maybe 131, which is somewhere around there. So if we put that in there as our little planning piece and we measure now from this side to this side, that is 131, and this is 129. So we're one off. We need to be there instead. We can cancel that one and just double check again, just to make sure that we get the center. It's 130, and that is 130. So this is the exact center of our airport this way. If we rotate the camera around, we can do the exact same thing to check the center this way. And this is going to be, what do we have? 173, 174. Half of 174 is going to be maths. 50 plus 25 plus 2, 70. I want to say like, I have no idea. Well, half of 180 is going to be 90, right? So like 86-ish. You can always adjust. Let's say 86 is here. How close is that? That's 88. And that is 85. So we need to move over a couple, maybe there. This just saves me doing a little bit of maths. That's now 86, and that is 87. I think that's as close as we're going to get it. We'll just make sure this lines up here. And that is the exact center of our airport. And that's the bottom, that's the top. That should work out well. Now, in terms of how I want this to look, I'm thinking we do away with small stands almost altogether. We might have a couple snuck in there here and there, but I want to integrate them into the medium runways. So if we grab ourselves, I might do asphalt to begin with, just to make sure that we have enough money to get everything we want in. That would be the center there. We can bring this almost all the way up. I want a little bit of room above it. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of fiddling here to just figure out how I want this to look. And I might do a little bit of time lapse as we plan this out, and I'll come back and show you what we've come up with. So in terms of runway layouts, this is sort of what I'm thinking. We'll have 2 runways per runway section. They are both running in the same direction, because I know you guys hate when they're not. I hope you guys think that's enough room between the two, but you might not, but at the same time, it's also a game, so we're just going to go with that. They are both going to be connected to the same taxiway system. This will probably be a one-way loop, I believe is the way that I want to do this. So we'll have aircraft coming out this way, going down here, and coming in this way, going around this way. So in theory, we actually probably don't need to connect these parts because no aircraft is really going to go along that route. So I think that should be okay. In the same vein, we could probably create a gap in the middle here, but I think I'm just going to leave it like this for now. That way they can get around the whole thing. But if they need to come around here, they can get into any of these slots and we can leave this open for other stuff. Maybe have our ATC towers up the top here so they can keep a good lookout there. And we can do basically the same thing with both of these ones because they're going to work in the exact same way. Then remove that and also remove this section here. Now, in this airport, we're not going to actually have our stands directly connected to these taxiways. They're going to come from our terminal instead and taxi all the way up and around to wherever they need to be. And that should work out quite nicely. So our terminal is going to sit in the middle here, but we are going to have satellite terminals for different areas of our airport. I'm thinking we're going to probably end up with 4 to 6 of them. I think maybe 2 satellite terminals per set of runways is going to be what I want to do. But that is going to be the next part that we need to figure out. So I will jump into another quick time lapse, or maybe a longer time lapse, because I'm trying to make these time lapses a little bit slower so you can see what's actually going on. And we'll be right back. So this is the kind of satellite terminal that I'm thinking, and this will all connect by bridges from the main lobby area. So what we have here is we have 4 medium stands and 3 large stands. I believe that is just enough to satisfy 1 baggage bay. So that's what I'm thinking there, and I think that will work quite nicely. We can also fit in 1 medium-sized hangar and 1 large size hangar, and of course we can extend these roads out and connect all of our other things. Our bottom floor is going to be mostly for staff. This is where I'm thinking we'll have like our baggage bays, some staff rooms, some staff toilets, things like that. And then once we come upstairs, we have these areas here are sort of designated for waiting areas as they're getting ready to like get onto the plane. We also need to draw this the last one in because I did forget. We can just copy and paste this from here and that'll go right in there. And that will be basically where everyone sits and waits. This middle area is going to be mostly like walkway with some travelators, and then we'll also throw in bathrooms, lounges, things like that around to fill up the empty space. So I'm thinking this will basically just be mirrored over to here, and then we'll come up with another satellite terminal design for the side runways. At the moment, this is only going to service these 2 sets of runways up the top here, and I think that we'll be able to keep up with capacity with that, sort of how that is there. Of course, we do need to go ahead and add in some taxiways the whole way around this, and I'm actually thinking the taxiways are going to go underneath our bridges, and I believe that the game lets us do that. So I think that's going to look really quite cool, and I'm excited to see that in action. We need to make that 7 by 5, and then we can just come all the way down. We're going to have to demolish this at some point. These 2 taxiways, actually, does this whole thing need to be moved over a little bit? I think it does. That is really unfortunate. I think I need to move this over by like another 5 because I forgot about the taxiway in the middle. Although, actually no, we can probably just change how this lays out entirely. We won't have this be a full loop of taxiways. Instead, we'll just have it taxiway out to here. This can connect this way. This can come in down here, like so. That can connect up like that. This can come all the way out to, I believe, maybe one more. Yeah, to there. This can come back in. Something like 5 there. There's 5 the whole way across. That's 5. That doesn't quite work. Let's get rid of this part and just extend it out to here instead. If that's 5 now, yeah, perfect. So that will be our taxiway, and then these can just connect straight into here. So this will kind of be a two-way system, which I don't want. I do believe that I'm going to have to move this entire structure over by like seven blocks. And that would be easy enough, but the copy and paste tools don't actually work on taxiways and things. So I can't actually copy most of this over. The only thing I can copy is the terminal layout itself. And then we have to move the rest of it over manually, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I guess that's what we're doing now, because realistically what I want to happen is I want this to be the entrance, and then I want there to be an exit, so that this can be all just one-way taxiway traffic, so that nothing gets jammed up. And I think that's the best way that we're going to get this to work. So I'll be back. We'll do another quick little time lapse as I move this over by like 5 blocks. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, that should work out just a little bit better now. We can have this be a one-way situation. So basically traffic will come down this way, across here, back up and around, and enter the runways from this direction. Although, now that I'm thinking about that, that doesn't actually... Oh yes, it does. Because they can come around here and enter from here as well. So this is the taking off starting point, and they'll land and come back through over here and work their way down through this little satellite terminal here. And I think that will work out well. I hope it will. And we'll basically do the exactly what I said, mirror this and put that over here. So that is what I'll go ahead and design now. And these are going to be our 2 starting satellite terminals. I'm thinking for these side ones here, we might have larger satellite terminals that end up basically servicing this whole thing just in one. But I'm not 100% sure how I want to lay that out yet. Obviously, this middle section here is going to be mostly lobby. So we might redesign these to look a little bit different to these, but I quite like how these have turned out so far. This will be all one-way traffic. The only place where we're going to have two-way traffic a little bit is going to be right in the middle here. But honestly, it's going to flow pretty well because everything is going to go along this way. So realistically, we won't actually have any two-way traffic at all because traffic will come in from here, go down this way, and traffic will come out here, go in here, out here. So there will be a little bit of merging every so often down here, but I think overall our taxiway traffic is going to be really, really quite good in this area here. So I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. At this point, we can probably go ahead and demolish our little center marker because it is no longer really relevant. And we actually have to use the demolish tool for that, of the terminal demolish tool. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now we can go ahead and lay out our, basically our lobby and our security area that's going to lead into this section. Before we do that, I just want to check how much this is actually going to cost to build. If I wanted to build all of this top section here, is it going to tell me? Yeah, it will. It's going to be a lot. I don't know if this includes the runways and stuff though, and we get a lot of lag. Hopefully our game doesn't crash here. Looks like we're going to be able to afford it no matter what though. So that was like 1.7. How much is the runway? The runway itself. I believe these are large runways. They're going to cost us 750,000. Yeah, I believe we're going to be able to build all this. So I'm pretty happy about that. Let's go ahead and start designing our actual runway that leads up into this area. And I'm going to make that, say, 4 wide, because that's sort of how much that lays out there. And to do this, it's a little bit interesting. What we need to do is go ahead and say we no longer want these 4 sections here. And this, of course, is our top floor. Our bottom floor still exists. And we do the exact same thing over here. We don't want those. And then we can come up to that same floor and say build. Okay, maybe we can't. We should be able to. With this, why can I not build on that floor? Something has happened here. We should be able to build in there. And I don't know why we wouldn't be able to. We are on the first floor, so that should let us build it like that. And I don't know why we can't. That is really quite interesting. Oh, because we're not in planned mode anymore. There we go. And then we can build that to connect there. And our taxiways are going to run underneath this, which I think is going to be actually really quite cool. And I'm thinking, now that I see this, I think I want this to be a little bit wider. Because once we put travelators and stuff in here, we might even have some bathrooms and things in here. I think I want that to be a little bit wider. So let's cancel that. And let's make it, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. This is going to be probably 7 wide coming up the middle here. So I think 6 is probably good. That should look okay. Jump back into our terminal foundation. That is going to sit like that. And then we need to come back to the ground floor. And I think I would like a little bit of room around our taxiways here. Maybe like 2. So something along the lines of that will be where this connects to. This might be our security zone, or it might be our lobby. I'm thinking I kind of want security on a top floor here. And then we should be able to come in and say, I want you to go to there, but we need to remove that part. Ah, no, we're on the wrong floor. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. That should work. And then we go from there to, okay, it's not gonna let me. We just put a foundation down the bottom here. We should be able to delete that in a second. We come back down here. Can we remove this now? And that still works? Yes. Yes, we can. So that's how that's going to work. Let's just remove some of these excess walls here that we do not need, and throw in some of the walls that it didn't put in for some reason, just in the corners. And I believe this works. I believe our planes will be able to taxi underneath this, which is going to be really, really cool. I really like that idea. And that's how that's going to work. And then from there, we'll have things like our walkolators that can help people get up and down and into our satellite terminals just that little bit quicker. So what I'm thinking from there is I want this whole area here to be our security. And honestly, I think it should probably be on the ground floor, just so that we can more easily route bags. Although, I mean, we could use a double escalator situation. That's fine. And then our whole bottom area could be ground floor. I went one too big on this direction here. That's where that would sit, and we would have our wall in like so. I don't know how big I want the lobby to be yet. I know I want to use all non-manned check-in desks, but I don't know how big I want this to be yet. So I think in terms of security, it probably is going to need to be a little bit bigger than this. If we grab ourselves our foundation, let's just make this square. And see what it looks like. 61 by 61. It's going to be huge. So we're also going to tell us that that's not valid because we still have this up. So let's just figure out where 61 would be, right about there. And that would be our lobby, maybe. That seems rather excessive, but we'll see. Yeah, that's a little bit excessive, especially considering we want some more satellite terminals over on this side. I'm not 100% sure how I want to do this just yet. But I definitely know that I want the security upstairs. And we could maybe leave it something like this. Have like 3 different secure zones. So we have a secure zone for these ones. We have a secure zone for over here and for over here. We make this kind of a U shape. I think that could be interesting. So let's figure something out here. I'm going to jump into a time lapse, figure something out that I like, and we'll be back in a little bit. So this is going to be my little security zone, and we'll probably have multiple of these. Like I said, we'll have another one over on this side and another one over on this side. That gives us a ton of room to play with down here. And I think we can probably make this a little bit more interesting just by demolishing some of this foundation here. I'm not 100% sure how much of it I want to get rid of. I definitely want some room to walk back here. But I think if we start off with something like so, that might immediately become a little bit more interesting in terms of our terminal layout design. I think that could be cool. We could put something interesting back here, but I'm not 100% sure what yet. These elevators are here in case people are disabled or in wheelchairs, or just can't do stairs or escalators for whatever reason. Maybe they have baggage trolleys or whatever. That is absolutely fine. They'll be able to come up here, go through security. We're going to have our baggage claim for this satellite terminal over in this corner, and our baggage claim for this satellite terminal over in this corner. And I think that will work out nicely. It should give us a nice sort of flow of traffic as we come up into our terminals here. And I think that should work out nice. I hope you guys agree. And then, of course, we still need to figure out what on earth we are actually going to do with our lobby. I'm thinking I want to have a fair few shops and stuff in the middle here, but I'm not 100% sure where that's all going to go just yet. The other thing we could put back in these corners is maybe some staff rooms or something like that. But we'll figure something out for those areas at some point. For now, that's where people are going to come up if they need to get to terminals. These will be terminals 3 and 4. Or maybe even 2 and 3. I feel like we're probably not going to have enough room over here to get 2 different satellite terminals in. There'll just be one big one that can connect to this. It might end up having 2 baggage bays, but it should just be one giant terminal. So yeah, this is how we've gone so far. I will go ahead and create a nice little screenshot that encompasses this entire area so you can kind of get a vibe for what this is going to look like when it all comes together. But we have been recording for an hour and a half already, so we're going to leave the planning at this stage here. And next time, when we come back, we should be able to get at least this top part of our airport functional and up and running. And at that point, we can reopen our airport, start making money again, and then get to work on these 2 side terminals here, which I think are going to be absolutely fantastic. If you guys have any suggestions for the build, things that we should definitely add, things we should change, let me know. I am going to have to record a few episodes ahead of time here because I am going on holidays very, very soon, and I want to have content for you guys while I'm away. But I always appreciate your comments, and even if I don't implement them in the very next episode, I do see them. I do read all your comments, and I appreciate you guys so, so much. I also want to say a huge thank you to your support through our membership drive. We had an absolutely fantastic time. The winner should have been announced by now on the community page. So if you did go and win that, go ahead and check the community page, see if you won. Join the Discord if you did, so that I can get in touch. And yeah, leave a comment for the sake of engagement. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'll be doing another merch giveaway at 10,000 subscribers for absolutely everyone, not just members. So get around that. But until next time, happy building, happy flying. Bye, guys.